So, anyone have any doubt in our yesterday's class?
Oh, hello, Ramana. Hello, Sam. Hello, Sam.
Okay, so in our yesterday's class, we learned about the semantic tags, right? So, anyone having any doubt in it? Want to ask me anything or having any doubt? Okay, I didn't give you assignment. Why? Because I want to teach you GitHub first, so that you can deploy your project, like you can share your direct code with me. Like in assignment, I give you the URL like this. See, I give you the URL like this in my assignment. So you also can get this kind of URL. How you can get this? Using GitHub. See, I use GitHub here. So I will teach you GitHub, then I will give you our second assignment, so that you can push the code and you can get this kind of link. Like you can also deploy your code and you can share this link with others, and others also can share, can see your work, whatever you are doing. Like now you are doing the code, writing the code in your VS Code and running it locally. So when you are sharing that particular link, the other people can't see it, right? See, normally how we get the URL? See, we get the URL like this, right? We get the URL like this. Let me close this one. We will see this one. Okay, so in this class, not in this or in next class, we will learn about GitHub. Okay, so that you can push your code on GitHub, on you can deploy your code and can get a URL like this kind of URL, so that other people can also see your work, and you can securely save your code also. Like right now you have all the code in your VS Code in your folder, but when you learn about the GitHub, you will save your code in some platform. Like for saving purpose we use Google Drive, right? To save some save some videos, PDFs, we normally use what, Google Drive, right? So GitHub is also one kind of platform where we can save our code, whatever the code, whatever the project you are creating, the entire code you can save it in GitHub. Okay, we will learn about GitHub in our next classes, next class, or maybe we will see. After completing this HTML, we will move to GitHub only. So now comes to this, we learn all this thing, right? So we learn about a way to use this header, nav, main, section, article, all this thing. Okay, so this is one good example. I have changed this example. You can try it by yourself. Now comes to what are diff and span. Okay, anyone having any idea about what is why we use diff and why we use span? Okay, yeah, let me go this one. Okay, we learn about the block level element and inline element, right? What is block level element? Block level elements are the elements which takes the complete width. Okay, irrespective of content, it will takes the full width. Here we can see. And span, like what is inline element? Inline element are the elements which takes the width as per its content, right? So div is your block level element, and span is your what, inline element. It is a container, ma'am, where we can keep images, text, etc. Yeah. Okay, normally we use div as a container for division purpose. Like for grouping purpose we use what, div. Like for grouping purpose we already have some semantic tags, right? We have section, footer, like this kind of semantic tags we already have, but still in some scenarios we use what, diff. Why we use it? Suppose like for grouping purpose you don't have like you don't have a particular semantic tag for that. So in that scenario you use what diff. Like suppose in our earlier class also I gave you one example. Like this is your one button. In this button you have two logos, this drop down and this person's logo. So you have to group this entire three things, like this share text and this logo and this logo, in a one particular container. So we don't have any semantic tag particularly for it. So in that scenario you can use what diff. Like in cards also, like I will show you. Let's move to Flipkart. I will show you the example there. Like okay, see there are multiple cards are there, right? To show the this men's t-shirts section, we can use section, but only for this card we don't have any particular semantic tag for it, like to save this image and to give this, some text, right? We can use figure, but in figure we can give some small caption only, right? So in that scenario when we don't have any any like direct semantic tag for it, in that scenario we use what diff. Okay, and now comes to why we use span is an inline element, like it will take the content as per its width. And in some scenario so like we directly don't have any particular tag for it. Like suppose I will give you an example, and first of all I'm removing this thing. Suppose first I will give you the example of diff. Now I want to keep the details of students, so I will take like this. Suppose I will store the name of my student and all this thing like age or everything. So I'm taking like this h3 students name. Okay, here I am giving the name, I am giving my name. So then here I am giving h3 age. Okay, so here I am giving 25, and here I am giving again some email id. Okay, random, I am typing anything. Okay, so now see these are three different elements, like this is for only one particular students, so you must have to wrap it. You can't keep these three tags alone. You must have to wrap it. You must have to give some container to this. Okay, in that scenario we use what diff. Like directly we don't have any semantic tag for it, like we can't directly use section for it, we can't use article, this is not a article, right? This is not a details or like summary, right? This is just a there's just some information, right? So we must have to give some parent tag to it. To give some container, for that purpose we use what diff here. So we are keeping all these details inside this diff, so it becomes the parent, and all these tags are becomes children of this diff. This is your parent, and this three tags are the children of this diff tag. So why we use diff? Like in some scenarios when we don't have any particular semantic tag for it, in that case we use what diff tag to give some container. In that situation we use this diff tag. Anyone having any doubt why we use this diff tag? Anyone?
So this is different from having bullet points, isn't it, ma'am?
Like diff is no, it is like see the diff is not having any purpose. Like in UL we use for giving the unordered list, right? It will not show you in unordered list. I will show you first. Okay. Okay, so it will not show you, like diff don't have particularly any purpose. Diff don't have any purpose. We use diff just for giving some container. Just for wrapping we use this diff. Okay, like table we use table to create a table. table tag. Like we use ul and ol for creating a list, and we use form for creating a complete form. But in the case of diff, there is no purpose, there is no actual purpose, just we use this diff to give some container. Directly we can't display it. We can display it, but it is not a good thing to directly show display this thing alone. For that purpose we are giving one container to it. For container purpose we use this diff. Any doubt?
Okay.
Okay, anyone else? What is the difference between diff and span, ma'am? Yeah, see, just now I told you, diff is a block level element. First thing, I didn't go into this span. I just first explaining you this diff. So just try to understand diff first. Diff is a block level element. I will give you the color to it. You guys will understand it more clearly. See, I am giving color to it. Style, I am using style. This is the CSS part. No need to be worried. I am giving some background color. I am taking aqua. Now let's see this one. So it is taking complete width, right? So this is your block level element. Diff is your block level element. So like giving container is really a good thing. Why? Because suppose sometimes you want to give some styling to it. In that scenario, this container will help you more. Okay, like suppose you want to give the same thing again, but just you want to change the color. So here from here you can change it. Like there will be 100 of students, right? So you can give alternate colors, or you can give some same color. Like I'm giving red here. Okay, just make sure div is your block level element. Block level elements are the elements which take complete width. So that's why it is taking showing this color completely whole. Okay, and it is must to give one container. You can't keep the things, keep the tags alone. You can't keep these things alone. You must have to give one parent container to wrap it. Okay, so that's why we use this diff. And now comes to the span. Span is your inline element. Span is your what? Inline element. Inline element are the elements which takes the width as per its content. Okay, span is inline element. Inline elements are the elements which takes the width as per its content. Now in some scenarios, suppose you want to just to like make this name, you want to give some color to this name. Okay, in that scenario what you will do? We don't have any particular tag for it. You can't use a b tag. The purpose of b tag is to bold your text. You can't use italic, right? You can't use emphasize, all these tags. P also you can use, but p is for paragraph. Just you want to give some color to this particular word only. So it is not a good approach to use paragraph tag for it. So in that scenario, like you want to give some styling to small parts, in that scenario we use what? Span. So suppose here I am using span. Okay, here I am giving my name. Okay, it's not closed properly, so I'm just closing it properly. See, I will, without doing anything, I will show you the output. It will not look any difference will be not shown in our UI. The same thing is visible. See how it is previously, the same thing is visible now only. After adding span, it is not showing any difference. Like after adding this diff, it is not showing any difference, but it is used good for giving grouping. For grouping purpose it is good to give this container. Now suppose I want to give some different color to this name, so I can use style. I am giving some background color or color also you can use. So I am giving color, like suppose I am giving, okay, blue violet. Let's see this one. See, I'm getting color to this particular name only. So how we are getting this? We use this span tag. There is no special tag for it to target a specific part of your text. or specific part of your content. If you want to target any specific part, in that scenario you can use this span. Getting my point? I will show you, like span is your block level element, like inline element. So here I am taking span, giving some text. Okay, one stack I am giving. So here I see I am using style. In this style I am giving background color. I am giving aqua. Let's see this one. Okay, it is not clearly visible. Let me change it. Aqua is already there, so that's why it is not showing. I am taking red now. Okay, see, it is taking the color as per its content only. You can see it, but it is inside it, so that's why. Okay, we are giving inside this div only, so that's why. Okay, let me change it what it is there previously. Okay, in this span I want to change it. In this span I am changing. I am giving here now. Let's give some different color. Let's take yellow. Okay, in this span only I give what background color as yellow. See, it is taking the color as per its content. So that's why I am saying you span is a inline element. It will takes the width as per its content, and especially why we use inline span to give some styling to a specific part of your text. So in that scenario we use what span. And why we use diff? To grouping purpose. Like we can't keep the tags alone, like we can't keep these things alone. So for grouping, for wrapping purpose, we use this diff. Diff will work as a container. So it is a container for these three tags. Okay. Having any doubt like why we use diff and span? Want to ask anything? Anyone?
No.
Okay, just be clear with this concept. Why we use diff? We use diff for giving the container. For wrapping purpose, we use this diff. And like for giving some unique styling to some specific part. So in that scenario, we use what? Span. Okay. Have some more examples in it. Okay, like as I already write you, when we don't have any particular semantic tag, in that scenario, we use diff. So always try to look for semantic tag. If it is not there any kind of semantic tag, in that scenario only you have to use what? Diff. Okay, see, as I give one example here, diff, inside it we are wrapping it with these two tags. So this class and id we will learn in our css. No need to be worried what is class, why we are giving this card. Okay, so span is an inline container just for highlighting some text, some part, like this I told you. In that scenario we use this span. Okay, here is just some good practices, like use semantic tags when they exist. When it is not exist, then in that scenario you can use diff and span. See, here I give the just one example using semantic and non-semantic tags. Semantic tags are like the meaningful tags we just previously learned, like header, footer. All these are semantic tags. Which are non-semantic tags? The non-semantic tags are like diff, span, are called it as what? Non-semantic tags. Like this is one example. Using this diff also you can create a website. Using this diff you create one header. Inside it you give some navigation. And for this main section you still here also you use diff for wrapping purpose. For sidebar also you use diff. For footer also we can use diff. But it is not a good approach, right? We must have to use the meaningful text tags. Like semantic tags we have to use, like header. For header we use header, and for navbar we use navbar, like this. Okay, for a side section we use aside. So using diff also you can create a layout of your web application. Using diff also you can create a layout of your web application, but it is good to use this semantic tags. So this is just a comparison. semantic tags describe the meaningful content, right? It will not describe the any meaning. And semantic tags are useful for screen readers, and it is good for SEO. I already tell you about ranking, right? So semantic tags are good for SEO also. Okay, examples are header, footer, article, all these things. And non-semantic tag example are div, span, I, b. These tags are not defining the purpose. These tags are not defining the meaning, right? We can't say what is the purpose of this div. Okay, the tags which are not defining the meaning, we called it as what? Non-semantic tags. And the tags which are defining the meaning of using it, like using this header tag, we can say it. Okay, so we use this tag for header purpose. For just by the name of this footer, we can say it. Okay, so this tag is for footer of my website. Okay. Okay, so accessibility, right? So these are some theory concepts only. Accessibility, meta tags. Okay, we can finish it soon. Then we will jump to our GitHub. So anyone having any doubt like semantic, non-semantic tags? Anyone having any doubt in semantic and non-semantic tags?
No.
Okay. So these are just two theory concepts are left in our HTML. We will cover it now, and then we will learn about GitHub. Okay. So now I will tell you about the accessibility. As I already told you, accessibility in web application means designing a website so that everyone can use it, right? Not a normal human, not only for you, a normal human you are creating a web application. You are creating a web application for whole, for the person who are blind, who are not able to use the mouse properly. There are some people, they have some issues with controlling mouse also. They can't use mouse properly, so they mostly use keyboard for it, right? They mostly use keyboard keys for it. So you must have to make sure when you are creating a website, you are creating a website for everyone, not only for a human person, normal person. So just for creating, while creating a web application, you must have to make sure these techniques, like to make your website more accessible, that it have good accessibility features. So there are some tricks are there, like key concepts you can say. So while giving an image, you must have to give alt tag. You must have to give alt tag. Okay, we already learned this thing. Just this is just a theory part I am saying. Okay, we already learned this. Why we use alt tag? Screen readers. It helps the screen readers. For that purpose, we must have to use alt tag. And the second thing is, when you use inputs, you must have to use label instead of just giving using b tag, bold tag. You must have to give labels with it. With input, you must have to give with its respective labels tag. Okay, it also helps the screen readers. Okay, like this. I will show you this one example. I am removing this one. I am giving form. Inside it, I am pasting this one. Let's see it. Okay, see, when I click on this, it is getting focus. See, the same thing we can get it using p tag also. I am just commenting this thing. I am giving email. Okay, cp, this is, we can use span as well. P is your block level element, so that's why it is come in next line. See, it is looking exact same, right? As we get the UI using label, it is looking like a same thing. But the difference is it is not accessible. User, like screen readers, will not read it properly. And the second reason is when I click on it, this input field is not getting focus. So that's why I'm saying you, when you are creating a inputs in your form, you must have to remember to give labels. It is good for your accessibility and to get the focus properly. And the third thing you must have to remember, it's use field set. in some UIs, like in companies, they don't want field set. In that scenario, you can skip it. When we use field set, it will give the border. It will show you some border as well. I'm removing. Okay, I will keep it here. See, we are getting some kind of border like this. Right? You can hide it using CSS, but still you can if the company, if any client you are creating a project, they don't want this kind of headline. In that scenario, you can skip this. Okay. So, but it is good for accessibility purpose. It is good to use this field set. Now comes to this area. What is area? A stands for accessible, R for rich, I for internet, A for application. Accessible rich internet application attributes. Okay, like some scenarios, you don't directly use a button tag to create a button. Okay, suppose what I am saying is, first of all, I am removing this thing. Suppose you are giving a button features inside your diff. Click me. Okay, you are giving it like this. You want a user to click on this button, but you are not using button tag here. You are using diff tag. See, you are using diff tag. There might be some scenarios, like in your project, there might be some scenarios you must have to use any other tag instead of using button tag. Okay, so in that case, you have to give the rule of that diff, rule of that tag, you can say. Okay, we have rule attribute also. In rule attribute, you can define what's the purpose of this element. Okay, we can say it like this. So here you can use rule button. See, we have multiple options like alert, cell checkbox. If when we use this rule attribute, suppose instead of using its respective element, you are using some any other kind of element, in that scenario you use this rule attribute, role attribute. Okay, we are treating this click me as our button, but we are not using button tag, right? This click me, we are considering this as button, but here still we are not using button tag. So in that scenario, you must have to give role here. So the role of this element is button, right? So it will still it will look same only, but for screen readers will understand it. Okay, so this is the purpose of this element is button, so it will treat this as button only. So in that scenario, we use this role. Any doubt? Any doubt in this role attribute? Okay. Okay. See, just what I am saying, you hear it? In some scenarios, you directly don't you won't use the specific tag for it. You use some any other tag. So you just have to define what's the role of this particular element. So it will help the screen readers. And the next thing is area label attribute. See, here is a video. Here is a your comments. Here is your last edit, like some kind of clock. Right? These are just the icons only. How screen readers will read it? How this kind of icons a screen reader will read it? Like this. See, this is your A. This is your U for underline. How screen reader will read it? What is the purpose of this icon? See, this is just for editing purpose. They give only this pencil, right? It becomes difficult to the screen readers just by seeing the icons. How the screen readers will understand the purpose of it, right? So for that scenario, we use this area label. Okay, for that scenario, we use this area label. When you give any kind of icons instead of giving some text, in that scenario, we use this area label attribute. In this area label attribute, you define what's the purpose of this button. I will show you. See, you are using button only. Okay, this button is for close, and instead of writing close here, you are just giving one icon for it. Like in many websites they use mostly icons only, right? They directly can't don't won't write this complete thing, cancel, delete. They just give the recycle bin, this kind of symbols only. So in that scenario, to make the work of screen reader more easy, you use what? Area label. Okay, here we have this attribute area label. So you just have to define what's the purpose of this button. Close, right? Close or delete also, like in that some scenario you use directly the bin icon, right? Delete icon we have, so you can give delete, right? So like in editing like in here I show you, like here they directly use this pencil icon. So screen readers will can't read it, can't understand this kind of icons. They see your area labels. So when you give like any kind of edit icon, you can give edit here. Getting my point? Any doubt? Anyone having any doubt in why we use area label?
No.
Okay. Okay, similarly we have area hidden also. Okay, some scenarios you want to hide the some content from screen readers as well. Like from you don't want to show this particular content to screen readers. Okay, in that scenario we use this area hidden. We rarely use this, but still it is there. In some scenarios you want to show this some text you don't want to show to the screen readers. So in that scenario you use this area hidden attribute. Here you will define true or false. If you want to show this, by default it is false only. Means everything is visible to screen readers. If you want to particularly hide this from screen readers, you can give area hidden true. Okay, we rarely use this, but still it is there. If you want to use in any project, you can use it. Then we have area live. Okay, why we use area live? Like there are some dynamic announcement, like in websites they give some announcement like 50% off, 60% off, this is a new product, must buy now, this comes this published this product recently. So these are your dynamic announcements, right? With the announcements which comes like live announcements you can say. So in that scenario you can use this area live. Like I will give you one example. We can use it like this, like I am using h1. Let's see to h2. So here I am giving recently added product. So you are giving some announcement, right? So we are using what? Area live. So we have this area live attribute. So here you can give polite. Always use polite. Assertive means you are giving some. Okay. So always we use polite only. So it will help the screen readers to know. Okay, so this content newly added. So they will read it like this. If you give the dynamic content like which is newly added, if they can't understand it by using this area live. Okay, any doubt in this? All these four things: role, area label, area hidden, and area live. Okay, what about others?
No.
Okay, okay guys. Okay, as I told you, the peoples, there are some people who don't use mouse directly. They don't have a good control over mouse. Like some people feel difficult to control the cursor by using their fingers, right? So in that scenario we have to be like make sure our website have keyboard navigation properly. Keyboard navigation means when I click on this tab, see how it is getting control, right? When I am defining a one button here, see this when I'm clicking on tab key, that's why I'm getting this kind of focus. See, it is getting the focus here. See, like this. So all the buttons will get the focus when we click on tab. So the people don't have a good control over a mouse, they use what tab key for it. So when they want to go to this search bar, they use tab key, and using this tab key they come here and start searching anything. And when they want to click on a button, they don't use cursor for it. They don't move cursor like this and come here. They just use what tab key for it, and then click on enter. Okay, so that's why I'm saying you, when you create a website, you must have to make sure your tab key is working properly. Like whenever you are creating a button, when you click on the tab key, that particular button also getting focused. Okay, so it will help the people who can't control the mouse properly. So to them it is useful. Keyboard navigation is useful. We access it via tab key. And the sixth thing we make sure while creating a accessible, like to give more accessibility in our website, we must have to use semantic tags. Okay, semantic tags, as I already told you, it is good for screen readers for conveying the meaning. Okay, and it is useful for search engines also. Search engines means for your ranking your web application, it is semantic tags are good and most useful. Any doubt in this accessibility tag, like accessibility topic?
No.
Okay, so now let's come to the meta tags. Okay, Madhu. See, here we have meta tags. What are meta tags? See, we give meta tags inside our head. See, inside your HTML, we have some meta tags. See, this is your meta tag. This is your meta tag, right? Meta, right? So why we give these meta tags? There are not only two. We can have more than two, like 4, 5, 6. We can have more than, like there are number of meta tags are there. For there are having some purpose for it. So the first purpose of having this meta character set, we call it as what, char set. Here we have this. When you use this shift 1, we get this structure. In this structure only we are getting this meta char set, right? This first. What's the purpose of it? What's the purpose of it is, see, first of all I will tell you what is meta tag. Meta tag is normally inside your head section of HTML page, right? They provide some more information. They provide metadata, means data about your web page, data about the web page for browsers. It will help you in search engines. Okay, for that purpose we give this metadata. Okay, they don't directly show up in your page but affect how the page behaves. See, meta tag is not visible here, right? In this meta tag we give this much content. It is not visible in your page, but it is useful. Why it is useful? It is helping you for your SEO purpose, for your ranking purpose, for your search engine. See, for in your browser and in your search engine, this meta tag will help you. It is giving you some more data, some more information about the web page. Okay, about your web page, whatever the web page you are creating. So first thing, the meta char set. Why we use it? Suppose in your this website you are giving some emojis also, like emojis of some laughing, crying, some kind of emojis also. You can directly copy paste it. Let me show you. I can see, just I'm copying this complete thing. Inside it I am giving here. Okay, let's see in the output. See, all these emojis, everything is clearly visible, right? As we are saying here, the same thing I can see it here. Just I use what copy paste only. I just copy those emojis from this website and paste it in my HTML page, HTML code. How it is working, how it is showing this perfectly. They're using character set for it, like this char set means character set define a character encoding of the web page. It will like character encoding tells the browser how to read and display the text. Okay, it almost supports all the languages like English, Hindi, Arabic. Like some text you are copying like English, Hindi, Arabic, this kind of text you can copy and can paste it in your HTML. It will show it perfectly in your web page as well. How it is working properly? Because you are using meta char set. If you are not using this, it will not show you. But in modern websites, in modern browser, still this meta char set is by default. But in old browsers, like there is a explorer, like this kind of old browsers are there. If you are not using it, this kind of images will not be visible to your website. So that's why this meta charset is necessary to show the content whatever you are giving in your HTML code to visible the same thing in your website. For that case, it is must to give this character set, or else if it will show you like this kind of question mark. Instead of showing actual emojis or actual characters, it will show you this kind of question marks. Okay, see, as I told you, in old browsers, in modern browser they already support this kind of meta character, but in old browser they show it like this. Okay, any doubt in this? What's the need of this meta character set? Just for like knowledge purpose I am saying you, already our boiler code will give you the complete code. It meta character UTF, this is a standard form which supports all the characters, all the emojis, and all the languages. Any doubt?
What did you say, man? What did you say? The boiler code, is it? What did you say?
Boiler code is nothing but just like a structure what we are getting. This kind of structure. We call this as our boiler code. Okay.
Template. Huh?
Template also you can say it. Okay. Okay, now comes to what the purpose of any some more. See, meta name view put. See here. This also we are getting by default. When we are getting the structure template, this line also we are getting it by default. What's the purpose of it? Meta name viewport. See, when you make your website responsive, in that scenario it will help you. Okay, I'm just closing. Control how a page displayed on a mobile devices. Mobile devices means when your website is responsive. Now you are creating a website in a laptop, but some people will open this website in their mobile also, right? So to make sure your website is looking good, working properly, not looking good or looking good, you have to use proper media queries. You have to give, must have to make it responsive. But to work it properly in that scenario, you must have to give this meta name equals to viewport. Okay, then only your website will display properly in mobile devices as well. Okay, here is we have the meaning of width, device width makes the page fit the screen width of the device. Okay, content width, device width, this one, this line. These are just the theoretical concepts, so I can understand it. Okay, you guys having not good focus. So see, just we are giving content width, device width means when you are opening a website in your mobile phone, the width look properly. In that scenario, we use this content. And initial scale 1.0, like for zooming purpose, we are giving the initial initial size of your website is 1.0, means 100% we are giving support. See, every website by default like zoom in is 100%. So we are defining this thing only inside this initial scale 1.0. Okay. Then we have SEO related meta tag. So we will learn about this SEO related meta tag in our, like, when we learn about React. Then in that case we will learn about this SEO related meta tags. For now I am skipping this one. Okay, just you can understand why we use this meta SEO related meta tags. Meta name, we are giving the description, and we are here in this content we are giving the actual purpose of your web application. Like suppose you create a web application of a e-commerce web application you created. You are giving all the details about your web application inside it. Inside this content you are giving all the details of your web application. This helps the search engine like Google understand your web page better. To make sure Google understand your web page better, in that case we use this description tag, description meta tag. Meta name equals to description, means we are saying what is the name of this meta. It is description, and inside this content we are giving the actual purpose of this web application. What is the actual purpose of creating this web application? So we are just defining the purpose here inside this content. Provides a short summary of the page. Search engines may show this text below your website link in search results. Okay, I will show you when we deploy our website. I will show you how it will show you when you deploy your website link. Okay, then we have some nesting. See, as I already told you about this, like outer element is called it as what, your parent element, and inside element will call it as what, your child element. Okay, see, this diff is your parent and this p is your child. P is a child of this diff and diff is a parent of this p. So that's why we are calling outer element. The elements which are on the outer side we call it as what, parent element, and the element which are inside we call it as what, child element. Okay, we already learned about this block level element and inline element. Okay, I will tell you about this. Right, corrected nesting is important. Right, suppose we have a diff, right? Diff we have, and we have span as well. Right, span is your inline element and diff is your block level element. See, you can't keep diff inside your span. Okay, you can't do it like this. Why? Because see, it is your inline element and it is your block level element. So it is not a good to keep the, like, this is one is bigger, right? Always block level element will be a bigger element. Why? Because it will take the full width, but span element are the smallest. Why? Because it will take the content as per its it will take the width as per its content. So always make sure you are keeping the block level elements always in the outer side and inline element always in the inner side. Okay, like this only. So you must have to make sure when giving the nesting, like when you are keeping the multiple elements inside it, you must have to use the proper structure. You must have to give the block level element outer side and inline element inner side. Any doubt in this? These are some theoretical concepts, but you guys have notes properly. When you just learn it once, you, you will understand it more clearly. Any doubt in this? What about others? Okay. Srisha, are you having any doubt?
No.
Okay. Okay. So with this we are done with our HTML. Okay, with this we are done with HTML. In HTML we learn about all and each and every tag, like how to add images, videos, audios, how to make a table, list, form, right? How to give iframe, how to add map, Google Map, YouTube videos, and complete structure, how to create a structure of your web application. As the purpose of learning HTML is how to create a structure of your web application, like how to give a skeleton in your web application. So we learn it in our complete HTML, like we must have to use this kind of structure. I will show you. Like we must have to give this kind of structure. Instead of using non-semantic, we must have to use semantic tags. And then we learn about entities as well, right? So this is all about your HTML. So now we will learn about GitHub. Anyone having any doubt in complete HTML? Or you want to explain me something one more time? You can refer recorded session for it, but still if you guys having any doubt in recorded as well, you can ask me. Okay, so I can understand. So now let's move to our GitHub. I'm just closing this. This is our GitHub. GitHub notes are there. Okay. So why we have in GitHub we have two things. First one is Git and second one is GitHub. These are two different things, not a same thing. Git is one different thing and GitHub is another thing. Now let's see what is Git. Git is a version control system. Using commands, you can push your code from your device to GitHub. Okay. Before learning Git, you must have to know what is GitHub. See, GitHub is a platform. As I already told you, GitHub is a one kind of platform. I'm moving to GitHub. I'm coming to my profile. See, this is my complete GitHub profile. What we are doing here is we are keeping our complete code. See, I will show you one thing in repository. I will go here. See, I give you one assignment HTML, one assignment. So here only I keep my complete code. See, from here you can see it. Here is my complete code. Right? Instead of keeping all this complete code in my device, in my laptop, I keep all this complete code in my GitHub profile. Okay, like there are profiles like in LinkedIn profile, Instagram profile. Similarly, we have a profile like GitHub profile we have. Here we can store our code. Okay, first this is the reason, and you can do deployment as well. Like using deployment, I make my website live, right? Okay, you can use GitHub pages for it. See, you will get a link like this. When you push the code on your GitHub, you must have to go to some setting. There are some setting is there. After doing this, you will get a link like this, where you can directly see whatever the UI you have created, and you can share this link with others also, so that they also can know whatever the thing, what the website you are creating. Okay, so this is the benefit of using GitHub. First one is you can store all of your complete code in your GitHub profile, and the second reason is you can make your website live also, so that you can share it with others. So now the first thing we have to do in GitHub is you have to create a profile. Like no, it is normal only, like how we can create a profile on our Instagram, how we create a profile in our LinkedIn. Same thing we are doing here also. Like just go to GitHub, github.com. See, I give all the like all the steps here. You can just directly go it from here. See, to create a GitHub account, you just have to go to this www.github.com, then click on this sign up and do complete steps. It will give you a complete steps. You can understand it, right? You guys can create an Instagram profile, so obviously you can create a GitHub profile as well. So I'm logging it. I'm doing sign out. Okay, sign out just from here. So it will, when you go to the github.com, www.github.com, it will give you the UI like this. You will get a sign up button here from here. Okay, from here you can create your own account. You can continue with Google as well, or you can give your own details. So for now I am going with Google. You can connect with your any like any email ID, you can choose it. So for now I am choosing any of my Google email ID. Okay, it is already linked account. So it will not show you like this. If you are using it for first time, it will not show you like this. Okay, there are some simple steps are there. You can create a profile using it easily, very easily. So not it's much difficult. You just have to go here and click on the sign up button, and then follow all those steps. And then now the next thing is, after coming here, just click on this new button. When you create a complete profile, you will get a button like this, new. Means what you are doing, like this is your, you can consider it, you this is your complete laptop. Inside it you are creating a folder. Okay, so repository is a one kind of folder where we are keeping our complete code. Repository is nothing but it is a one kind of folder where we are keeping our complete code. Okay, so here I am giving my folder name. So my folder name I am giving here is assignment 2. Okay, so this is my folder name. So you can make it public and private as well. Okay, if you keep it public, other people can also see your repository. Means other people can also see your code, whatever the code you are keeping inside this folder, they also can see this. So when you keep it public, other people can see it. Just click on this create repository button. Okay, till here the work of this GitHub will be completed. You will get all these commands. You have to use it. How can we use these commands? For that purpose we use this Git. Having any doubt why we use GitHub? Then I will tell you about Git. Any doubt in why we use
There
GitHub?
is
Yeah.
there is folder. So do we have files also in folder, or folder only is called a file, man?
Files on. Can you please repeat it once again?
No, if we create assignment, give folder name as assignment,
Yeah.
we will have code in that folder.
Yes.
Yes, that's all. So there are no files like how we have in a regular Windows directory, isn't it?
Yeah. We don't have any file. Like see, we are creating a folder. Inside it, we are normally in our laptop. We can't store a folder inside a file, right? So you are creating a folder means you are creating a repository means you are creating a folder. There is no option to create a file here. Okay.
Okay.
So you have created a one folder now. Okay. How we can push code here? For that purpose we use what? Git. Okay. Git is a version control system. Using Git we can push our code from our device. See, I have all this code in my device. Now I want to push this code into my GitHub account. Right, I want to push complete code in my GitHub account. For that case we use this Git. Okay, so we must have to first download it. For downloading it, I have the given URL here as well. Just click on it. There are easy way. So from here you can download it. Download for Windows, it will be getting downloaded. Okay, like you can choose it where what's the Windows, it is 64 or 32, it's up to you. Mostly it is 64 only, so you can choose it from here. So it will be downloaded from here. Okay, it will be downloaded in next 3-4 minutes. So it will be downloaded, and from here in your VS code you can push your code. So we will see, we will do the complete how to push it, how to deploy it in our next class. Till now what you guys have to do, you guys have to set up your GitHub account. Okay, most of the students already have it, but first set up your GitHub account. The next thing you have to do is install this version control, this git. From this URL you have to install this git. Okay, do these two things, then in our next class we will push the code in our GitHub account and we will deploy it. Okay, so anyone having any doubt into the session, or you want to ask me anything? Just do these two things as a homework. Just create your GitHub profile and download this git. Okay, want to ask me anything, anyone?
No.
Okay, what about you, Srisha? Okay, okay guys, now I am going to end our today's session. Thank you.